Hey everyone, welcome back to Tune In English, your daily English conversation practice. I'm Adam.
And I'm Anna. We're so happy you're here with us today.
Today's episode is all about one tiny word that shows up everywhere in English.
Everywhere.
The word put.
Such a small word, but it does so much work in everyday conversation.
Actually, let me start with a question. Anna, where did you put that notebook I lent you last week?
Oh, I put it on my desk. I'll bring it tomorrow, I promise.
No rush, I just suddenly remembered it.
Wait a second. Did you notice something?
What?
I put it on my desk. You asked where I put it, and I answered I put it on my desk.
You're right, I didn't even notice. That's the thing about common words. We use them automatically.
Exactly. And that's why today's episode is so important. A lot of English learners ask, how do I know when to use put?
That's such a good question, because when you look in a dictionary, you see so many meanings. It can feel overwhelming.
But in real life, we don't think about definitions, we just feel the pattern.
Like muscle memory for language.
Yes, the more you hear it, the more natural it becomes. So today, we're going to break down put step by step with real life examples.
No complicated grammar explanations, just natural conversation.
And by the end, you'll start noticing put everywhere.
All right, let's start with the most basic meaning.
The most common meaning of put is to place something somewhere.
In other words, you move something with your hands and you leave it in a new location.
For example, I put my keys on the table.
Or I put my phone in my bag.
Notice the structure. Put something somewhere.
That pattern is really important. Put plus object plus place.
You can't just say, I put my keys. That sentence feels incomplete.
Because we're waiting for the location. Where did you put them?
Exactly. The location completes the idea.
Let me give a real-life example. When I get home, I usually put my backpack on the chair near the door.
Only on the chair?
Well, sometimes on the floor.
I had a feeling.
And then my wife says, Adam, please put your bag where it belongs.
That sounds familiar.
I know I should put it on the hook by the door, but after a long day, I just want to drop everything and relax.
That moment when you walk in, take a deep breath, and finally put your responsibilities down.
Oh, that's nice. You just used another put phrase. Put your responsibilities down.
See? It's everywhere.
So, remember, when we're talking about physical objects, put almost always needs a place.
Let's try a question form. Where did you put my charger?
That's perfect. We're asking about the location. Where is it now?
And in daily life, we ask this question all the time. Where did I put my glasses? Where did I put my wallet?
I ask that at least once a day.
Same.
Now, let's move to a different meaning of put. This one is less physical.
Yes, put can also mean to express something in words.
For example, let me put it this way.
That means, let me explain this in a different way.
I use that all the time when I'm teaching. If a student looks confused, I say, okay, let me put it another way.
There's also the phrase, how should I put this?
Oh, yes, that one is very useful.
It's what you say when you want to be careful with your words.
For example, how should I put this? Your presentation was interesting, but it needs more structure.
That phrase gives you a little time to think. It signals that you're choosing your words carefully.
And then we have to put it simply.
I love that one. It means you're going to explain something in a clear, basic way.
To put it simply, we need more practice.
Or, to put it simply, English gets easier when you hear it every day.
That's the whole idea of Tune In English.
Exactly. Now here's another big meaning. Put can mean to cause someone to be in a certain state.
That sounds abstract. Can you give an example?
Sure. Don't put yourself under too much pressure.
So I'm not physically placing myself somewhere.
No, you're causing yourself to feel stressed.
Ah, so pressure is a state, not a place.
Exactly.
That's interesting. I often put myself under pressure when I wait until the last minute to finish something.
So you put yourself in a stressful situation.
Yes, and then I feel it in my body. My shoulders get tight, my jaw clenches.
That's such a natural way to describe it.
What about positive examples?
This song puts me in a good mood.
The music causes you to feel happy.
Or the sound of rain puts me to sleep.
I love that one. When it's raining outside, I fall asleep so easily. It really does put me to sleep.
So remember, put can describe causing a change in feeling or condition.
Physical placement, expressing ideas, causing a state. Three big meanings.
And we're just getting started.
Next, we're going to explore some essential phrasal verbs with put that you'll hear every single day.
Get ready, because this is where put becomes even more powerful.
Let's start with one of the most common phrasal verbs, put on.
Yes, this one is everywhere. You use put on for clothes, accessories, and even music or media.
Every morning, I put on my glasses before I do anything else. Without them, the world is just a blur.
Same here. The first thing I do is put on my slippers. The floor is always cold in the morning.
And we also say, let me put on some music, which means to start playing music.
Exactly. When I start working, I always put on a playlist that helps me focus. Something calm, usually instrumental.
Music really changes the mood. It puts me in a productive mindset.
That's another example of put meaning cause a state. See how naturally these meanings connect?
Now, let's look at another very common phrase, put away.
Put away means to return something to its proper place after using it.
Parents say this all the time. Please put away your toys.
Teachers, too. Put away your books before you leave the classroom.
At home, I try to put away the dishes right after dinner, but sometimes I just leave them in the sink and tell myself I'll do it later.
Honest confession.
What about you? Are you a put things away immediately person?
I try to be. If I don't put things away right away, the mess grows very quickly. 1 cup becomes 3, then 5, then suddenly the whole kitchen looks chaotic.
That's very true. Small habits really matter.
Now, let's talk about a phrase that many of us know very well. Put off.
Ah, yes. Put off means to postpone or delay something.
For example, I keep putting off cleaning my closet.
Or don't put off your homework until the last minute.
I think everyone puts something off sometimes.
Definitely. When a task feels difficult or boring, it's easy to say, I'll do it tomorrow.
But tomorrow becomes next week.
And next week becomes next month.
Exactly. That's why learning these phrases through real conversation is helpful. You hear how naturally they appear.
Another very useful one is put up with.
This one means to tolerate something annoying, difficult, or unpleasant.
For example, I can't put up with this noise anymore.
Or she puts up with long commutes every day because she loves her job.
Sometimes relationships require patience too. My friend says, my partner puts up with my messy habits.
That's very relatable. We all have little habits that someone has to put up with.
Now, here's another great one. Put together.
Put together means to assemble or create something by combining parts.
For example, I put together a presentation for the meeting.
Or we put together a small dinner for our friends last weekend.
I like that phrase because it sounds collaborative. People often put ideas together, not just objects.
That's true. When we plan lessons, we put together activities that help students practice naturally.
And here's one more that learners should know. Put down.
This one has two main meanings, so context is very important.
First, it can simply mean to place something on a surface. I put my phone down on the table.
But it can also mean to criticize someone or make them feel bad.
For example, don't put yourself down.
That means don't criticize yourself or think negatively about yourself.
Language learning is already challenging. There's no need to put yourself down while you're learning.
Exactly. Encourage yourself instead.
Let's make this more practical. Anna, can you walk us through your typical morning and use a few put phrases?
Sure. When I wake up, the first thing I do is put on my glasses. Then I go to the kitchen and put the kettle on to make tea.
Very important step.
While the water heats up, I put together a simple breakfast, usually toast and fruit. After eating, I put away the dishes so the kitchen stays clean.
That already sounds more organized than my mornings.
Then I put on some quiet music while I check my messages and prepare for the day. That music really puts me in a calm mood before work begins.
I like how natural that sounds. None of those phrases feel forced. They're just everyday English.
Exactly. The key is exposure. The more you hear these phrases, the more automatic they become.
Let me share my version. I wake up, put on my glasses, then I put the coffee on immediately. Coffee first, everything else later.
Very realistic.
While waiting, I usually check where I put my phone the night before because somehow it's never in the same place twice.
That sounds stressful.
It really is. After breakfast, I try to put together a short plan for the day so I don't put off important tasks.
That's a great habit.
When I actually follow the plan, it puts me in a much better mood because I feel more in control of my time.
That's such a powerful connection. Small routines can really put your day on the right track.
And when the day ends, I try to put away my work materials so the next morning feels fresh.
The key word there is try.
Exactly. Still working on that habit.
All right, in the next part, we're going to talk about common mistakes learners make when using put and how to avoid them so your English sounds natural and clear.
All right, let's talk about some common mistakes learners make with put, because even though it's a simple word, there are a few traps.
Yes, and once you notice these patterns, your English will immediately sound more natural.
The first big mistake is forgetting the location when using put in the physical sense.
Exactly. You can't just say, I put my bag,
That sounds incomplete.
because we're still waiting for the answer to the question, where?
So instead, you should say, I put my bag on the chair, or I put my bag under the desk.
Always remember the structure, put something somewhere. That somewhere is essential.
The second common mistake is confusing put with other verbs like wear or place.
Yes, some learners say, I put my jacket when they mean I'm wearing my jacket.
The correct phrase is, I put on my jacket. Once the jacket is already on your body, you don't say, I put it. You say, I'm wearing it.
That small difference makes a big impact on how natural you sound.
Now let's talk about put versus place.
Good question. They're similar, but not exactly the same.
Place sounds more formal and careful.
For example, in a museum, you might hear, please place your bag in the locker. But at home, you just say, put your bag over there.
So in everyday conversation, put is much more common.
That's why we're focusing on it today. It's practical English.
Another small mistake learners make is forgetting that put phrases completely change meaning.
Like put down.
Right. I put my phone down is neutral. It just means you placed it on a surface.
But don't put me down is emotional. It means don't criticize or insult me.
Context changes everything.
The same with put off. The meeting was put off means it was postponed. But I was put off by his attitude means you felt uncomfortable or discouraged because of his behavior.
English phrasal verbs can feel tricky, but when you hear them in real conversations, they start to make sense naturally.
Let's do a quick real-life scenario to bring everything together.
Okay, imagine this. It's Sunday afternoon.
You've been putting off cleaning your room all weekend.
Finally, you decide to do it. You put on some music to make it more enjoyable.
You start by putting away the clothes on the floor.
Then you put your books back on the shelf.
You find your old notebook and wonder where you put your favorite pen.
After an hour, the room looks completely different.
The clean space puts you in a good mood, and you feel proud because you didn't put the task off again.
That short story used so many natural examples of put without sounding forced.
That's the goal, real, usable English.
Before we finish, let's do a quick final summary.
Meaning number 1, put equals place something somewhere.
Put your keys on the table. Put the milk in the fridge.
Meaning number 2, put equals express something in words.
Let me put it this way. How should I put this? To put it simply,
Meaning number 3, put equals cause someone to be in a state or condition.
this movie put me in a good mood. Don't put yourself under pressure.
Then we looked at essential phrasal verbs.
Put on, put away, put off, put up with, put together, put down.
If you understand these meanings and phrases, you already have a strong foundation.
And now you'll start noticing put everywhere in conversations, in podcasts, in movies.
That's when learning becomes exciting, when you suddenly realize, oh, I understand that.
Exactly.
Now we want to hear from you. What did you put today? Maybe you put on your headphones. Maybe you put away your laundry. Maybe you put off doing something important.
Write a sentence in the comments using put. Practice makes progress.
And remember, don't put yourself down if you make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning.
If you enjoyed this episode, put a like on this video
Nice one.
and subscribe to Tune in English for more real-life conversation practice.
We'll be back tomorrow with another everyday English topic to help you sound more natural and confident.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time. Bye, everyone.